Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dual DMs. Today we were getting back to our side quest of sorts. It's a completely different campaign, so it's not really a side quest. But we're calling it the Apex Excursion. Um, as you can see, the party, which was once 6 people down to 3 people, has now dwindled down to 2.
Yeah.
Just for the time being, we're gonna probably have some changes coming up in 2019, but we'll fill you in on that soon. Check the social media for updates on that. Yeah, and we've got a good session planned for you today. It's gonna wrap up the Apex Excursion. I don't know why I named that. That's really hard to
Say
say.
it 5 times fast.
Apex Excursion. Apex Excursion. Apex Excursion.
And you
Yeah.
felt pretty, when you told me, you're like proud of yourself too. You're like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
I don't know about all that. I don't think I was too proud of that. I think I just pulled it out of my butt. But yeah, my name is Julian Rhodes. I'm gonna be the DM today. Um,
I'm Marcus Morici. I will be playing Rylus Holder, and I'm happy to be here.
My name's Beau. I'm playing Colt, the dumb fighter.
yep. So we got a fighter, and what are you, a rogue? Or
Oh
ranger?
yeah. I'm a scout rogue scout. You know, however you say it.
So the rogue fighter combo. It's running solo, and if you didn't tune into our last episode, I'll catch you up. Our players are in the midst of a grand royal hunt put on by the Kingdom of Valiance out of the city of Parallax. This hunt happens, and did I say annually in past episodes? I don't think it was annually. Maybe like every 5 years, something like that. Not too often. That's really the point. But this hunt, this grand royal hunt, has been heard throughout the kingdom, and so our players went ahead and traveled the distance. Were bankrolled by a mysterious Mr. S, Mr. F, Mr. K,
Mr. S.
Mr.
S
S.
sounds.
Yeah, I think it was Mr. S.
I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's been a while, so.
Yeah, well, we've taken a break for literally a month at least, if not more. I think the last time we played was mid-October, so it's been a while. We're now getting into December, so what's that tell you?
Yeah.
So back to
Mr.
the
S.
I'm
Mr. S.
It is
all
Mr.
I have
S.
to say
I have
is
notes.
I'm
There
excited.
you go.
I'm a little
Better notes than I
excited
do.
to find out what happened between last episode and this episode, because I want to know what happened, because I know you said something about a little time has passed, and that's why it's down to the two of us.
Yeah. We'll get to that. I'm just catching them up.
All right, guys.
The viewers.
We'll wait for you.
Yeah. These guys traveled with a small group at the same time as a bunch of other hunting parties, as they were sort of VIP members. They were flown over the jungle type area. There were a lot of ecosystems, but they were dropped off in the middle of a tropical jungle area. And as they were dropped off via Tensor's floating biplane, they feather fall parachuted into the area below. And before they could really start the hunt, they started hearing screams from all over the jungle. They went to pursue what it was. They found lots of flayed bodies from the competing hunters. And as they investigated, they came across some sort of creature, which revealed itself eventually to be a large gnoll in the last episode. It was
Not spiders.
not spiders, no. The gnoll had a metallic mask, dreads, a wand attached by a tripod on its shoulder, some claws coming out of a gauntlet. There was lots of stuff reminiscent of a famous movie franchise that you may recognize. These guys went ahead and took out 1 and then 2 in the same day in the last episode, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
All thanks to his magic flute.
Yeah, this magic flute that he was able to find is No, it was a gift randomly from their benefactor, Mr. S. And it allows him to control rats.
As long as they keep playing it, the rats keep coming, apparently.
Yeah, it's a scary item.
I mean, they don't. I can't call anymore, but...
Yeah, you used up all your charges?
Hey.
Excellent.
Did cool shit the first time, so blow harder.
Yeah. That makes sense. No other hunters seem to appear as they fought these things, though they did see more and more flayed bodies as they roamed the jungle. In the process of hunting these creatures, though, they could hear one of their teammates, Calamak, being flayed in the distance.
Yeah, I think he had it coming.
But they felled their second knoll hunter, whatever these things are, and were able to confiscate some items, correct?
That's right. I got myself a gauntlet and a head mask and...
I got a whip.
A whip? That sounds about right.
Sure you did.
Alright, let's see. It is... I'm going to give you guys these stats right now. Your whip does 2d4.
Oh.
And your... What'd you get? The gauntlet?
Yes, sir.
It's 2d4 slashing.
Plus any special effect. I remember us taking some sort of special effect when it happened. Had to roll saving throws or something.
Yeah, you can force a strength saving throw, or knock them prone when you attack with it.
I got my notepad open.
You got the gauntlet, correct? Okay, it does 1d8 slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning. Your choice.
Neato. Cool.
And the mask gives you, +1 AC.
Alright, +1. Good.
Alright. So you ventured off into the jungle now with your teammates, Rill and Gort. Gort being, I believe, a human.
Oh, human?
Was he a human?
Was he dwarf?
Was he dwarf?
He might have been a dwarf. He sounds like a dwarf.
I believe he was a dwarf, because remember he said, oh, shoot.
Hang on.
He spoke dwarf?
Yeah, because I could speak to him.
I feel like he could have been a
Even though
human.
I'm a human.
We'll get back to Gort. Rill, though, is a Vidalcan wizard. And he was traveling with you. I believe he got into trouble and almost perished in the last episode.
Yeah.
Luckily, you made the right choice to save him, but didn't manage to save Calamak.
He was still restrained, I believe, wasn't he?
I think they were both restrained.
Gort doesn't belong to the campaign anymore, so I can't give you any information about Gort. I don't know about that vampire. That's the first time I ever met him.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't trust,
Came out of the bushes,
yeah.
fighting, apparently ran off. That's the last I ever saw him.
I think I distinctly remember that Rylus wasn't too fond of him anyway. Like, wasn't he trying to attack me? Like, as far as I was concerned, I believe that was the case. Like, every time I turn around.
Or you were trying to attack him.
Or was it me?
I think you were
I
trying
think
to
it
attack.
was that one.
You were inadvertently trying to attack him. You kept missing. In his direction.
Yeah, it was an accident. Every time.
Okay, so anyways.
Anyway,
there was some distrust.
Yeah. So there was a little bit of distrust there, but you pressed onward given the situation. These hunters, whatever they were, had some crazy technology. Were doing some very sly hunting and really gruesome sort of dismembering and playing with their food, so to speak, with the flame.
Yeah.
So it was extra dangerous, you know, as you guys pressed forward. But as you kept going on in this direction throughout the jungle, trying to follow where you last heard Kalamak, you approach a clearing with especially high bushes. And while walking through the clearing, you proceed with caution. However, not every one of your party members was as attuned to the earth the same way, you know, Farmer Boy and Scoutmaster Catman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really like into it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, when the Vidalcan he stepped on the mine, he didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And before you guys knew it, these sharp, almost like a pine cone, with blades, just exploded and shot off in all directions. You two were luckily able to dodge out of the way, but poor Rill was shredded by the blast.
I do have to say, I do believe in this scenario, Rylus was trying to get a hold of him, like multiple times.
Yeah.
And tell him that there was something there, and he just wasn't answering. He didn't listen to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, the thing is he had that cool Arcanomancer armor, and it had this, like, really cool helmet, but it just knocked out all sound. And he just, you know, you told him to, like, you know, take it off, pick it up, you know, pick up. And he wouldn't pick up his helmet, and so...
And even he was trying to help him.
Yeah, he went all the way over there. He was, you know, right next to his place in the meadow, and he reached for him, and he just didn't respond. And before you know it, the pinecone bomb just shredded him alive.
I waited a long time for him to respond too.
Yeah, yeah. You thought for sure he was going to respond and not step on the mine, but he did. Poor Rill. I'm sorry, our Vidalcan friend.
I mean, he looked at me though when I was talking to him, so.
Yeah. You could definitely tell, like, he knew what you said.
But did he then?
But maybe it was just like an act of defiance.
He never actually acknowledged.
Yeah,
he just kept walking, and I'm gonna play Reveille on the pipes, and the rats are like form a hand.
Did the
yeah.
Did they eat him?
Rats gotta eat, but
they're
not that desperate.
They've eaten well.
Yeah, it's a very lush forest.
Well, I mean, and they've had these hunters too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They feasted.
Yeah. By the way, the last two hunters were eaten by rats.
Are we into another day? Are we into the next day? Same day? Same day. Because there's a short period of time here that we have to even do all this. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So even though this traumatic experience occurred, you pressed onward. You know, down a couple buddies now. You two, with Gord at your side, pressed onward in the jungle. But next thing you know, the luscious greenery sort of cleared up, and suddenly there was just a large expanse of sand. And Gort, thinking that, you know, he'd been stuck in these jungles for a year now. He knew these jungles, and he thought, you know, I know this area. This is just, you know, another walk in the park. He trudged ahead of you over the sand, and once you know it, he started to slip and sink.
Oh man!
And little by little, he reached and grasped and tried to fight his way out of the quicksand, but...
See, I remember saying something to him, but he definitely told me he's got this, and if he puts his mind, no one can stop him.
I said something, and he got huffy and stomped off into the sand.
Yeah. He said, don't worry, I got this. So
Yeah, yeah. It happens, when you, like, Gort, he had been in the forest for so long, and then when you have that much experience, you just always think you know best. So sometimes it just bites you in the butt. So Gort, you guys tried to help him. You reached a branch out a couple times, an olive branch, if you will, and he just refused, and so that was the end of Gort. And before you knew it, Rylus and Colt is the two-man team left standing to face this last creature. And this entire time you're traveling, you're hearing more and more screams because there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other groups that parachuted off with you.
So Colt, this is like the Forest of Screams or something.
Well, given the creatures we've already defeated, did you happen to grab Rill's compass? Can you tell which direction what screams are coming from?
I think they're coming from the east, or was it the west?
I don't know. I never seen one before. I don't know how to read these things.
You can't really see the sun under the dome. If only we were in a desert. Then there's clear skies all around.
You would think it would be easier to figure.
Okay. This episode is awesome. I'm sorry, this might not be entertaining to them, but at least the audience could get a crack up. Like, these guys are really hamming it up for whatever is happening.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to know certain things, just feel free to.
I guess you gotta go back and watch previous episodes
and throw some comments in the chat or in the under the video in the comment section below. We'll answer questions. For sure.
So we don't have Rill's compass. So we're hearing other screams. Are they all coming from the same direction, or are they left, right, behind us? Are they coming from all over?
They seem to be sort of curving and staying in the jungle. As you guys reach this sandy area, you can see that there's not many trees left before this part of the biodome turns into desert.
And the screams are coming from across the sand somewhere, or
no, back and kind of away. Like maybe he came this way and then you heard it off to the left.
Okay.
Still within the jungle. Maybe even back into the left.
I see Colt's like quizzical look, and I think I understand. I can track really well, and I believe that I can follow him. He's definitely doing kind of like one of those patterns where you do circles and then you expand out your region. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. I mean,
I'll follow your lead if you think you know where he's going.
So I start to try and track him then, since he's giving me the.
Just kind of give me an indication of where you're at, so we don't lose each other.
Colt,
so you don't get too far ahead.
Avoid the sand.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, you would think it was obvious, but I don't know how much you know.
I don't know.
I don't know if you're gonna I know what I'm doing. You're gonna step in it.
I don't know shit about shit, man.
Okay.
Just tell me which way you're going, and just try to keep me oriented so you don't get too far ahead.
Okay, great.
All right, roll a survival check.
All right, survival check. Somewhere on the thing in alphabetical order.
Should be wisdom
plus
proficiency.
Yeah, you know what that is. 13.
Oh, now I know. Since you told me.
Yep. 6 and 7 is 12. 13.
I could have helped, but I didn't. So.
Next time.
You seem to pick up a scent of fresh blood. And
there's blood in the air.
Let's see. I think you would probably be west right now, so it's kind of north.
It's in this direction. I'm not quite sure which is north, south, east.
No.
That direction.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
So I point in the direction of north.
Okay. So yeah, it would be to your right. if you're on the west.
North or
Yeah.
west?
North.
The direction of the blood.
It's a little
Wherever
like
that's
sort of
at.
it's northeast from your location because you guys are sort of at that border of the jungle. So it's going to be north and sort of this way.
I just tap Real's compass and it's like north.
Hey, where'd you get that?
Just throw it in the sand.
All right, so you guys, you start taking off in this direction, yes?
Okay. Yes.
You start making your way through. There's vines everywhere. Every once in a while, you test out your new blade just to cut through it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
would too.
Yeah, of course you would. You slash right through.
Probably a little too much because I'm enjoying it. So I
Hey,
might need to be reeled in.
You gotta get proficiency with a hand gauntlet somewhere. So yeah, you guys make your way through, and it's not too bad, especially with that survival roll. You're sort of able to stay on track and find an easier way there. But as you get closer and the smell gets stronger to whatever scent you're picking up, you both kind of hear some rustling up ahead.
There's rustling up ahead.
He says,
Shh.
There's rustling up ahead. I try to conceal myself.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's an 18 for stealth.
That's not bad.
Okay. I see him trying to hide, so I'm going to try and hide. All right. $26.
Okay.
I disappeared.
Literally. Where'd he go? So, I'll say,
This is why I was worried about losing him.
yeah. Should have tied a string around him.
Like he disappeared.
Don't worry, he's gonna edit all this out.
Oh yeah, I can edit it out.
This is what happens when you roll a 26 for stealth.
Just disappear. You're off camera. It's done.
A 26 stealth roll.
Yep.
Dang. Okay. All right. So you guys are pretty well concealed as you approach, and you get about 50 feet out when you see sort of like a shadowy figure up ahead. There's some dappled sunlight coming through, but you can barely make out what it is, and it looks to be hunched over something that's emitting that scent that you're picking up.
Can you see me?
You rolled a fucking 26.
Okay.
My perception is +4, even if I roll I would have to roll a 20.
Okay, so, right, this is all. I slowly make my way over to him.
Alright, give me another stealth check.
17.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. 4.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. You actually startle. And as you do, you hear a growl and a roar from behind you as you both turn to face a pair of panthers.
Come from the northeast or southeast?
Let's see, you were heading northeast, so directly northeast.
Alright, west. Cool. Got it. Alright, panthers. Got it. Right.
Yeah, you hear a pair of panthers. And
we look up and see panthers.
Yeah, they've pretty much revealed themselves as they're moving forward in your direction now.
So
They're slowly stalking towards you.
I see them, and I go, gentle creatures. And I do like that, and I use my
Gentle creatures.
animal handling.
Are you still playing your thing?
I've been dragging these fucking 2 groups of rats around everywhere, so.
No, but
Okay.
But in my cat-like ability, because. Rawr.
What are you using?
Animal handling.
Oh, okay. What's the check? What's the roll?
Do you want the roll I roll, or you want to see it?
No. You tell me what you just rolled.
Okay. 14.
Okay.
But you're like, I'm like, well, I was gonna roll for you.
You already rolled though.
Yeah, it's 14
Okay.
total.
You don't have to re-roll.
Great.
Yeah. So with that 14, they don't seem to be backing down. As you say, gentle creatures. They both kind of look at each other for a second, cock their heads to the side, and then look back at you, and then resume their stalking.
Can I tell that they're aggressively hunting, like they're gonna get me?
Roll a nature check. I mean, you know what? Don't roll a nature check. It's just an aggressive cat. Like, you're going to know that.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what I do is...
Something's endangering you. Like, you might not know the exact mechanics. Okay.
And then I intimidate them.
Okay.
Back
What do
off,
you do,
kitty.
Cole?
How far away are they?
They're about 50 feet in closing.
Alright, so I have 2 swarms of rats. Still. So to split the distance, 25 feet away, and off about 45 degrees, so just about 10 feet off 10 feet off axis.
Yeah.
The rats. 1 group on each side, in between us.
Setting up an ambush of rats for 2 panthers. This is excellent. Okay.
I'm trying to intimidate them with the big, flashy, shiny object coming off my hands. Intimidation.
Okay. They get about 40 feet away when you make your big reveal of your giant clawed gauntlet. What do you roll?
6.
Total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total.
With bonuses.
All together.
Okay.
With everything.
Okay.
And the cherry.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It's hard.
Alright, yeah. They don't really seem to think anything of it. And they continue to press forward. They're moving pretty slow, only about 10 feet per round. They get to about 30 feet away and they start sniffing the air. And you can kind of see that they're like looking in the direction of the bushes to the sides of the path directly in front of you. But they don't seem to like see anything. Do you guys want to do anything else?
Just these 2 cats. Nothing else around.
Just the 2 cats that you can tell.
Can't
Unless
see
you want to
anything
make a
else.
perception check, you can try and
That's
see
what I was
something
asking.
more. Yeah.
21.
21. Okay.
17 plus 4.
Okay. You're focused on these 2 panthers that are crawling towards you, and kind of thinking about your rat ambush that you're planning, and you have your pipes ready to go, and you're like laser focused on the situation at hand. When a small glint catches your eye from somewhere up above, and as you turn your attention upward, you just barely see something catching the sunlight that dappled sunlight that's coming through from some branch off in the distance, maybe about 70 feet away from you.
I achieve at least partial coverage behind a tree, something just to offset so I'm not standing out in the open.
Yeah. Yeah, that's easy enough. Alright, what do you want to do?
start taking a kind of a cautious defensive motion as they're falling back to get me in a better position to defend myself against the potential attack that's about to happen. But see, they haven't outright attacked me, so that's why I didn't go toe to toe, thinking maybe I'm not the quarry.
Okay. So you both sort of take cover for different reasons, but you take cover, and the Panthers press onward. And as they cross that 25-foot pass, do you want to react with your rats?
Are
Are they close to me? Are they passing me?
You guys were you were next to each other.
Yeah, you
When
came back to talk to me. I blew the stealth. And
Yeah,
then...
so you guys were both about 50 feet away when they started. Right now they're 30 feet away, closing in on 20 feet away.
Oh, so they're getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the rats. I'm more worried about the thing in the trees than I am the panthers at this point. So each group of rats is going to attack the panther closest to it.
Okay. The large jungle cats start to
Make an attack roll if you want.
move in, and it almost looks like they're about to break into a gallop when they're surprised by these rats. So go ahead and make the rat attack.
Rat attack. Isn't that a thing?
Rat attack, same difference.
That is a... Alright, so we're each going to attack for... Ooh,
It's an 11.
That's an 11 plus 2, so 13.
Okay.
And 5.
13 and 5?
Yep.
I'm guessing the 5's going to miss. But let me go ahead and
They're
double
there.
check this 13. That should
No
be
purchase,
good.
they get stuck in the fur, but...
I could have had this bad boy open earlier. I forgot I had it here. No. Okay, yeah, that's a hit.
Alright, so
the 13's a hit.
the left group does 4 damage,
Okay.
and the right group doesn't hit, they just swarm him and don't get any purchase.
Alright. And with that, let's go ahead and have you guys roll initiative.
Oh, shit. Terrible. Well, I got 8.
$23. The controller of the cameras.
Alright.
21, sorry. Did I say 23?
You did say 23.
That's wrong. 21.
Okie dokie. Artichoke.
My initiative is lower than I remembered, so.
Alright. So yeah, the rats jump out of the bushes and start swarming these cats. The one on the right is able to just sort of like roll over and just start clawing them off of him, and doesn't seem to sustain much damage. But the one on the left is caught by surprise, and they nod him pretty bad. And they look around and they seem pretty pissed, and their attention is suddenly turned towards the rats. As you have the chance to defend yourself with this surprise attack, more or less. Rylus, you are going to get to go first.
Okay. So close the distance, do kind of a wicked roll, and then as I come out of the roll, slash at the one that didn't take the vicious rat damage.
Okay.
So, and then just
He's the
so
one
as
on
I
the
roll,
right.
I just swipe the claw, try to come across whatever I can.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so roll for attack.
You do that.
All right, I'm excited. Oh boy, what's the hit DC for? Oh, I see, it's +5. So that's 16.
Yeah, that's a hit.
All right, and then I hit, so I get to roll this. There's no pluses.
It's the same as anything. You add your strength through your dex.
Oh,
But it's a normal weapon, so you would add strength.
so strength. Okay. 1.
Are you rolling your dice in character?
Don't judge me, okay?
Okay.
Just don't judge me.
No, it's all good.
1.
So, oh, you have a negative to
I have a negative strength. Is it a finesse weapon?
No.
Who made it?
This guy probably should have been a finesse weapon, but it's not. So.
Could be.
All right. You just kind of catch it with a glancing blow as it feels almost a little heavy for you. It was probably built for a much larger creature. So you're doing the best that you can, though.
Yeah.
Next in the order is going to be that cat, though. And it growls as it lashes out at you.
Uncanny dodge? Something? Roguish? I don't know.
Does an 11 hit?
No.
You had to think about it.
Okay. It swipes wildly at your feet, and you just sort of hop over its claw attack as you two face off.
Sweet.
Next in the order is going to be the other cat, which is going to go ahead and attack the rats.
Okay.
And it's going to just try and bite a few.
I would like to move away. I would like to move away from this cat as a reaction about 17 feet.
You're really going to do 17 on me?
Skirmisher, you can move up to half your speed as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you without a provoking attack of opportunity.
Literally everything in this game is on a 5-foot scale.
So 15 feet.
Do me a favor and just do 15.
Okay. Well, I'm halfway into the next square, alright?
Alright. Do you have the stats on those rats?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 9. That's a 9 hit.
Nope.
Okay.
AC of 10.
It tries to bite at him, and these giant rats, they are pretty big if I remember, just sort of scurry out of the way and lash out at his face with their tails and stuff, and it can't get its teeth around anything. It's like a really bad claw game. So that poor panther, he misses out on a pretty good mousy meal. Next in the order is going to be Colt.
Alright, so my action's playing the pipes to keep these rats in the game.
Okay, still from your hidden position?
Yep.
Okay.
And so the left rats are going to attack me. And that is a 9 to hit.
Okay. That is a miss.
Okay, and the right rat's going to attack. Jesus, I'm back to rolling like myself. All right, that's a 6 to hit. So all they do is just cause ruckus.
Yeah, just really annoying these large panthers. Anything else you want to do, Cole?
Nope. That's
Okay.
it.
Next up is Rylus.
Rylus, which I reach with my gauntleted hand, grabbing for my crossbow,
Mm-hmm.
which at this point has already been set for a charge, and I let loose at Kitty McSprinkles that tried to ruin my day.
The one on the right.
Whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, the right one.
Shoot it.
Oh.
Shoot it.
Wait, never mind.
Shoot it already.
Draw an arrow. Correction. Short bow. Here we go. 15.
That's a hit.
All right. So.
Alright.
Yeah. Get him.
Yeah, baby.
And 4.
Oh man, this is gonna be a fun boss fight. Alright, so it sinks into Panther's shoulder?
Don't hurt yourself.
I'm trying to think of the meatiest area of a panther. Because
Yeah,
it's
but
it's not a
front quarter, rear quarter.
debilitating shot.
The rump?
Yeah, it hits it in the rump, and it yelps as it growls and.
Alright, yeah, that was terrible. I was trying to make that like that. Never mind. You know what I was trying to do.
Do you want to do anything else on your turn?
I would like to move another 35 feet.
Okay. You are now 50 feet away from the fight.
That's good.
All right.
I'm still in range.
Yeah. So it's that cat's turn.
Okay.
It's going to run 50 feet. That is the speed of a panther, believe it or not. And it's going
I
to...
am 50 feet. 52 feet.
It's going to use its special ability to pounce on you. As it unleashes its claws.
No.
9. It's a miss.
I see this coming as I look over my shoulder.
Do we hear circus music yet?
I do one of those spin turnaround things and step to the side as it pounces next to me into the...
I mean, it doesn't fall. It just sort of like...
Well, it's just... You know.
I mean, it's a little more... It's stylish. It's like Tokyo Drift. It just...
And then its rear end spins around and looks at me.
And now it's facing you.
We're like latching kitty eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Making kitty eyes at each other.
Hell yeah.
Hold on. There we go. Like the camera's up there.
Next up is the left cat, which is going to see his buddy run off, but is too distracted now by 2 groups of rats. Which, you know what? Before we get to that, I'm going to say when it does take off, your group of rats is going to get an attack of opportunity.
It was... Alright. That should be a hit. That's 16 plus 2.
That's a hit.
Okay. And that's going to be 6 points of damage.
Okay.
On the cat that ran towards him.
Yeah, so as this...
So I was just going to ask you if they were carried with it since they were swarming, they intended to swarm it, or if they got an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, they definitely got the attack of opportunity because it had to sort of like kick them off to get away. But you left it really messed up after this attack. Its entire underside seems to be matted with blood, and it's sort of like dripping as it like staggers to face you now after that Tokyo Drift special. The left panther is going to go ahead and try and take another attack at the left group of rats.
Yep.
And that is only a 10.
10 hits.
Okay. And it's going for another chomp. As it does so, it deals a total of 6 piercing damage.
Yep.
And you can see in its mouth it has a few few of your rats just sort of shish kebab up in a pile.
Crunch, squirt.
Yeah, real gross. And then it spits them back out as it looks for more to eat. The next person up is going to be Colt.
Alright. Now, since the one that chased after him is out of range because these rats don't move 50 feet, both groups of rats are going to attack the panther on the left. That is a 13.
That is a hit.
Okay, and an 11.
That is a miss.
Alright, so one group gets a hit. That is 10 points of damage.
All right, so as it seems to be abandoned by its pal, it's trying to get out of this almost avalanche of vermin that now encompass it from all sides, and it's reaching its hands out, just trying to escape, and before it can make any headway, the rats are on top of it, and it's gasping for breath as the last rats sort of just cover it, and it sinks into nothing, and as the rats kind of clear away, it's just bone.
That's fast.
Yeah, they're very fast. They're efficient.
They were hungry.
They're always hungry.
Alright.
Oh, wow.
Alright, so do you want to do anything else?
I'm just looking for him. But yeah, that was my action, so
Okay.
I'm trying to maintain cover.
Next up is going to be Rylus.
Too close to do anything with it, drops the short bow. Quickly, reaches down, draws the rapier, goes to just pierce this thing, shish kebabbing through the rats, into the mouth.
No, no more rats.
The other one, the rats in the mouth.
Yeah,
oh, that's the other one.
Yeah. This one took off after you, got attacked on its way out towards you. Both rats
So was
converged
that
on
west
the
or
left
north?
one. Yeah. Right.
No. Okay, so
Yeah, south.
stole all that.
And then it was southwest.
Alright, so rapier, you and stabbed it.
We're just.
You and Panther that lunged at you.
I've been focusing. We've been staring each other down, and I just want to drive it in between, just somewhere soft and meaty, just rapier to the face.
Okay. That's a sick 3, bro.
Oh, sick. Plus, I don't even know if it's going to matter. It doesn't matter. 9.
Okay. So yeah, you see this thing, as I said, is dripping with blood. Its fur's matted in crimson. And as you go to put it out of its misery, you almost kind of like take it too lightly. Like you're too into your feelings with having to end this creature's life to take it as serious as it needs to be. And it like claws away at your rapier, knocking it away from its head.
Okay.
And with that, it's going to go ahead and try to bite you. That is a
Hit.
16. That's a hit.
Yes, sir.
That is 4 slap piercing.
Be gentle. I have a delicate constitution.
All right. Next up is Colt.
Pick a direction. Up, down, left, right. Pick a direction. Up, down, left, right.
AB. Up.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared for that. Don't put me
Yeah.
on
Wait,
the
well,
spot.
because there was nothing. I don't know.
You want me to do a survey? At
We
the
were
end of
next
this
to
call?
each other, and you ran in one direction. Nobody knows in what direction you ran. That's all I'm. So the rats were ahead of us. Panthers were ahead of us. So you ran in one direction, and that wasn't disclosed, right? So.
Did you see him run? Did your character see him run?
Well, he broke. I mean, he was talking to me.
Yeah.
So.
And then you guys were fighting.
Right.
And
We started the fight, and then he ran. So.
Right.
And the panther. I knew where the panther was, and the panther bounded after him. So. So how far are the two groups of rats from them? Do I see where the panther and him ended up? Or...
So we assume we're 50 feet at this point?
I mean, you ran 50. That was my
I ran
question.
50 feet
Yeah,
away.
you ran
They
50
ran 50
feet,
feet to
but
me.
the panther ran.
Yeah, it's 50 feet away because
Is it-
you had
Because
run
math.
you had run all the way up to where they were being jumped by the rats, and then
'Cause
you
you
ran
yeah.
15 feet and then another 35 feet after,
Right,
which is
right.
50. So he's they're
So
about
he
50.
Yeah,
actually
about like
passed.
50.
He said up. So
Like-
I mean, he ran away?
Yeah,
Or-
50
I just said
feet.
pick
Like
a direction up, so
52
that would be
feet.
away.
Like 52 feet.
Yeah, so that would be
It's
if we just
50
rolled the
feet.
dice and set up, he would be 75 feet from where I was if he kept running that way. I just said up, down, left, or right. Did he run this way, that way, that way, that way? He
Oh,
said
yeah, I
up.
ran
So
that way.
He ran orientation-wise if he ran away from me.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Direction-wise, it matters. That's why I'm asking.
He's 50 feet away from the
Where
rats.
the Panthers were.
From the rats
Uh-huh.
and the Panthers.
Yeah.
From you specifically,
75 feet.
it
if he
would
ran that
be from the direction where you were, where the Panthers were, where you set up the rats and everything. I think he's more like 25 feet away from you, because he would have had to run past you.
Yeah, 25 feet to the Panthers.
Right.
And then another
And
50
then 50 feet that way.
past the
That's how I
Panthers.
thought. Past you.
Well, that's why I asked him which
Oh,
direction he
okay,
ran. Up,
okay.
down, left, or right. So did he run behind? Did he run this way, that way, or that way? Again, it matters.
So
That's
the
why
Panthers are coming from this direction, right?
you ran up to them,
Right,
and then
I
you
ran
ran
up to them, and I
50
ran
feet.
away.
What direction away?
Straight back.
Straight
Straight
back.
back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So now you're
Well, I
25 feet behind me.
Yeah, he's 25
Okay.
feet away from you.
Yeah.
25 feet behind me. Okay.
Behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Behind
You say it like, oh yeah, fucking behind you. Right? I told you.
We're like,
It's a
we're
three-dimensional world, Marcus. Just
This is why
understand.
I asked direction, and now it doesn't have to be north, south, east, or west. Just that's why I asked
I
direction.
get what
so-
you're saying. No,
right.
like,
It does matter.
so when they come up on you, we attacked, and then I
You
backed
ran
away.
Yeah. Okay. You
had
backed away. That's
Retreat.
retreated.
okay.
Yeah.
You retreat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're 25 feet behind me. Rats are 50 feet away from him.
Great.
All right. All right. So the rats start moving back towards him. They can only cover 30 feet. That'll put them 20 feet away from him, 5 feet away from me. So between us, 5 feet towards him, 20 feet away. So, all right, that's it. I'm still
Okay.
behind the tree, trying to maintain my cover between myself and the thing that I saw, because I don't know where the fuck it's at now. I'm worried about the Panthers. And still being able to utilize the rats. So.
There's only one left.
Hell yeah. All right.
Oh, here's what's really screw shit up. Where's that panther in real life? No, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
In close combat with you. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
all right.
It's your turn.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't get another turn already. Okay.
Yeah, it's great. 2 players.
So, boom, yet again,
Make another attack.
elegantly, this time, I'm taking it a little more seriously because this is definitely bullet fighting right here. And with that is a lovely
3.
17.
Hit.
All right, 17 hits. Excellent. So, with that, I get to roll some dice, and those dice are 8-sided and plus 4 and 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. So, yeah, you hit with that damage, and as it pierces into the panther, you can see the life leave from its eyes as it slumps over, and you yank your rapier out before the weight of this large cat kind of drags you down to the ground.
Yeah. I pick up my bow if I have time. So, stow and bow. Yeah. Rapier, stow it, pick up the bow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, stow and bow.
Okay. I'll let you do that.
Okay.
As you do this, and the rats are making their way towards where the panther and him were fighting, you hear like sort of and your rats need to make a dex save.
Okay. 12.
Okay. They sort of scatter away as there's a large impact into the ground, and you see this light flash by as it shoots, and you recognize it as being
Another one of those fucking things.
Yeah.
All right. And that was back in the direction the Panthers were. Okay.
Mhm.
Same general area that I saw the glint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does Rylus notice?
You hear the sound of the impact in the ground.
Okay. So that's where my attention's drawn.
So
Yeah.
he had his turn. This thing had its turn.
It is your turn.
All right. Hey, there's another one of those fucking things in the trees. And I point back the way the Panthers came from.
Okay.
It's about 70-ish feet that direction. The way the Panthers were. So another 50 feet behind the Panthers.
And then how many feet up?
Another 50 feet behind the Panthers. Up in the trees.
It's fine. So it's within range for me. I still have my bow in hand. When it's my turn, I'm either in this
75.
motion, readying my bow in the direction. Semantics, but that's what I'm doing. To relate to your call. What are you going to do?
I just let you know, and I'm going to move the rats back in that direction.
Okay.
Is that
They
30 feet.
the rats actually now pull a Tokyo drift as they slide and turn around and just start galloping in the other direction. And yeah, good turn. You're still in cover.
All right.
You are about 105 feet away from where he says that target is.
Do I see that target?
95, not 105. Make a perception check.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
You don't see it now. If you want to try and spot it, you'll have to make a perception check, or you can try and fire blindly. Your choice, not both.
So fire blindly
Only one
would
would be your action.
Disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
YOLO! Oh,
Damn.
yes! Okay, so the score for that one will be 17 plus
Nice.
5. So
That's a hit.
23?
That's it. Roll damage.
Firing at that dark patch of leaves.
Yeah. 6.
6.
Just almost flawlessly into the whatever.
You can see your arrow hanging in midair off of something, and slowly you see the phosphorescent light that's kind of become familiar now ooze around the wound. Something standing there and shot.
There he is! Colt!
I see him.
There. I do another one of these. I'm not doing the silly character.
All right.
Fizzle, Mike. Are you rolling in character? I was like, apparently I'm stuck.
All right. So you're gonna see this thing. You're gonna see the arrow with the phosphorescent light around it, sort of just like float upward in the air, and then fall quickly to the ground as you hear an impact around the base of a tree in the distance. That was right around.
Colt, you see that new trick I just did? Whose turn?
And you hear rustling as something, whatever that thing is approaching.
Cool. Let's try to track the arrow.
You're up.
All right, I had eyes on it, or at least I caught it glint.
Well, that and you can still see like the blood spot.
Yeah. So now it's hit the ground. Do I still see it or no?
From your current position, I'm going to say no. You saw it previously
Saw it.
because you
Mhm.
weren't taking cover at the time.
Okay.
Now that you're taking cover, you're gonna have to like sort of peek around.
Okay.
And as you peek around, there's too much foliage in the way.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna move the rats 10 feet in its direction,
Mhm.
and one group 10 feet to the left, and one group 10 feet to the right.
Okay. So they spread out. They moved. Fuck.
They were only 5 feet.
And then
Towards
and
him,
then Colt
so-
runs out towards
And
the
then they
thing.
moved 30 last turn.
Yeah, so they're gonna move 20 back.
Okay.
This way.
Stares it down.
Okay.
So they've got 30 feet movement, so they're fine.
Clever
Okay.
girl. What was that?
Okay, so they set up another one of your ambushes, and they're ready as long as you keep playing.
Mhm.
But that plane seems to be kind of
It's detrimental. It is what it is.
Yeah. We'll see how well that affects your stealth checks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next up is going to be you, Rylus. Big Riley Rye.
Go in for another shot. Do I disadvantage or do I just? Seems like a disadvantage roll.
Yeah.
No, I can see
As
the
it-
arrow. It just seems
Well,
red.
now you can't really because that foliage is kind of using it as cover as it's
Oh, it's
approaching.
just covered. Yeah, it was just disadvantage. No dice this time, sir. That's a good hearty 10. Well, shucks.
All right, yeah, you fire off an arrow and it just kind of goes sailing into the forest, and you don't hear it hit anything for a second, and then you hear the sound of piercing wood.
I essentially pure nudged that arrow.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
At least you got it.
Yeah. All right, so as you both are trying to find this thing and unleashing attacks and setting up your ambush, you both hear a loud shink, and then you hear as one of you, let's see, yeah, give me that coin.
Heads.
As you see this blade pass by you and head in his direction.
Oh, that's right, because I was like, yes! That was kind of like when Johnny high-fived you.
Yeah. All right, let's see how this goes.
Oh shit!
Okay. For 7 slashing damage, as this gigantic shuriken comes plunging into your shoulder, and it looks like it's the size of 4 short swords, just sort of banded together by a ring. As it plunges into your shoulder.
Shit! Okay, that's enough. You get the point.
Yeah. And you can hear the rustling get closer as it continues to walk through the forest. And it gets to about 10 feet away from you, you hear. Does that cross your rat?
The rats are 10 feet away from me.
So yeah,
in that direction.
It pretty much walks right up to that line.
Okay.
Would that activate their reaction?
That was the intent. So.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. The left group gets 7 to hit, but they do attack him 7 and oh geez, a 1.
All right. You can hear them scurrying over what sounds like leather and metal, but they're quickly kind of yelping as something's kind of batting them off. Actually, it's close enough now as to where if you peeked around, you'd see them sort of crawling on something invisible.
Okay.
But that does lead to your turn.
Does that consider my turn since that was?
No, that was
So,
the
'cause I was
reaction that
holding
you
the-
set up.
okay.
That's essentially your last turn coming
Okay.
to fruition.
All right. So now I'm going to have them attack him in earnest. Another one with the left group, and the right group is 18.
Okay.
16 plus 2.
That one's going to hit.
Okay.
The other one you said was a 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for the one that hit.
7 points of damage.
Okay. The rats are swarming wildly now, kind of looking for any weak point in the armor. These are the same rats that have been following you for a while, so they actually, they got through a couple of these. So they know there's a way to get that juicy knoll meat some way or another. And as they're crawling around, some of them viciously find a weak point and start sinking their large dentures incisors rather, into the flesh of the knoll. But the other ones get so flustered and so frenzied that they start eating one another. And I'm gonna say
That polydent is like super on point tonight.
Yeah, one damage
Alright.
to one of them. I don't really care which one.
Oh, well, the left one is the one that rolled the one.
Oh, okay, perfect. As long as you know.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what happens. What happens with your rat attack?
Right.
Anything else?
I'm laugh at rat attack every time.
Yeah.
I just yelled at him, "Hey, can you see him now?"
Can I?
He's covered in rats. He's
covered in
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say that you can see that. Well, it's got the fucking arrow out of its shoulder, like blood, like
I mean,
fluorescent blood.
I'm sure there's
and
fluorescent
rats
blood just
crawling
leaking
on
all
air.
over from all the bite marks. So it's kind of giving me some
Yeah.
And
Like
he's
it's
covered
on
in
the
it,
rats
so-
too. Like the
And
rats
it's
are
everywhere.
glowing too now.
Whose turn is it?
It is now your turn.
It's your
Okay,
turn.
so Rylus, for once in his short career here, gets a serious look on his face, and you just see it. Like if you're looking in his direction, his like one left arm is just kind of limp as this thing is like protruding, and he just kind of just hyper focused runs to the thing that hit him to make a rapier attack
Okay.
right into him.
How fast do you run?
I do
35?
speed of 35.
That's perfect.
And so I
That's
come
a
in.
hit.
That's a hit.
Yep.
All right. And since I am using my rapier, good sir. That is a. Because I forgot this shit before. 1d8. So that's 3. Plus 4.
This only counts because the rats are there. But
Yeah, right. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Because of sneak damage, because the rats are all over his ass. But yeah, Rylus just runs in.
You said for 13 total?
Yeah, 13 just
Excellent.
All up in them guts.
down, and you just see him just like as this giant ass thing's hanging, and he's just kind of like almost like he's more grizzled and aged in his face that you haven't seen him before because he's no longer like kid-like and playful. He's just dead to the world almost.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
Dark ass Rylus all of a sudden. All right. He yelps with a
Almost murderous look in his eye.
What did I make it sound like before?
Yeah.
All right. And he's gonna. You're gonna see a stick, sort of, come out of nowhere, in midair, and then 2 blades are going to come off the ends of the stick as it's going to start stabbing at the rats that are trying to swarm it.
I'm terrible. It's like, can you make the sound any more wet? That's terrible.
I'm guessing a 8 misses.
Missed.
18.
Hit.
22. Yeah.
Hit.
Let's see. He's using it one-handed. Oh wait, no, it's a two-handed. All right, so the first one he hit.
He only hit. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hit
I'm gonna say he went left, right, left.
Okay. So right and then left. Yeah. He made 2 hits, right and then left. Okay.
So the first one's gonna take 6 piercing.
Okay.
And the second attack that hit is gonna deal 11 piercing.
Okay.
And after he's done stabbing, and he piles up some of the rats on his polearm stick, he's gonna like wipe them all off and rip off his mask, and his camouflage is gonna disappear as he howls up into the sky, sending blood-curdling chills down your spine. And you guys are going to need to make a insight check.
No, we're not.
Why?
I just wanted to be... Why, you said insight?
Yeah.
8.
13.
13. Okay. You both are affected by his alien intimidation. And as such, you're going to have disadvantage on your next attack or ability check.
Okay.
So, with that, it's going to be your turn.
I'll allow it.
Luckily, your rats aren't you.
I was going to say, so, the rats are unaffected, are they? Or do they need to roll as well?
No, because I'm going to say that he specifically was looking at you guys as he did it.
Alright, so, rats' attacks don't count as my attacks. My action is to play
Actually, I
flex.
guess he was looking at him since you're still undercover.
Oh, okay. So, I'm not affected.
You heard the howl. I'm going to say he was directing it at all intelligent beings.
That way, you're projecting it that way. Alright, so I am affected.
So Colt was...
Right.
Okay.
Undercover.
But your rats aren't affected.
Okay.
So anything your rats do.
Yeah, I was going to say, so I'm just going to keep playing the pipes.
Yeah.
Not quite pressure.
He knows someone else is out there playing that fucking music.
That's alright. So the rats continue to attack. That is a 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
By the ones on the left. And they do 1 point of damage.
Okay. Hell yeah.
One's on the right. That is a 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay.
Yeah, they still they're kind of gnawing at the same weak points that they know of, but he's kind of frenzied now and batting them off more aggressively with that stick. What's wrong?
My AC's higher than I thought it was. Future attacks.
I remember my first time.
Yeah, remember that sick mask you're wearing?
I do know.
All right. It is your turn though.
Sick mask.
Sick mask plus 1 AC.
There we go. Sick mask. My turn.
Yes.
All right.
Wouldn't have saved you because roll it.
Just wildly going to stab.
Stabby stab stab.
In kind of desperate fear of this non-terrestrial creature.
Why are you rolling disadvantage?
You said I was.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I can explain to you.
I mean, you don't have to roll disadvantage if he says you don't have to roll disadvantage.
Cool. Then, I'm going to say 17 to hit. No, 13.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna miss. As he sort of bats it away with his stick.
So I still got
He
this
just sort
thing
of spins it around.
embedded into my shoulder, big ass swords, and I'm like kind of frothing at the mouth, a little bit of blood's there, and I'm just like almost frenziedly trying to like hit him with the rapier. So this is what's the scene that's being played out.
Hell yeah, that's exactly what's happening. He's gonna respond, and as he does, he's going to stab a couple more times at the rats before trying to catch you by surprise with a plunge of his.
He's gonna plunge into
his combo stick
with his
rat right.
We said left, right, left.
Left, right, left. Yeah. So left misses.
Okay.
Wait. Does 11 hit?
Yes.
Okay. And right. Yeah, that's a. Well, this kind of cocked. I'll reroll. So it was between 19 and 1.
Yes.
Alright. 18.
So they both hit.
First one takes 7 piercing.
Okay.
Second, 12 piercing.
Wait.
And then
I can't do it.
versus you, how far away are you from him? Did you move back or anything?
Oh no, we're
yeah, face to face,
yeah,
right? Except rats all around.
Yeah.
Shit. 13.
Still, just as he tries, I'm kind of like focused, and he just happens to. I just happen to catch the move that was necessary as this thing. But I don't look. It's just kind of like I do it as it swoops past my ear. My ear twitches a little bit.
It's almost like your feline instincts are kicking in. Protect you.
Yeah. But I'm keeping my eye on him, just.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
He misses his attack.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And.
That's going to be you, Colt.
Okay. So, that said, I'm actually going to drop the pipes and pull out my halberd. And he's 10 feet away. Make an attack with my halberd. The rats still attack, though, because now they default and defend themselves.
Okay.
If the rats don't hear the pipes, they defend themselves if they're being attacked.
Okay.
So the rats attack. 14.
That is a miss.
Okay. They're still all over. And I attack with my halberd now as my action.
Do it with advantage, because you're coming out of cover.
Okay. 17. Oh, wait, yeah, 17. Sorry.
That's it?
Okay. And that is 6.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to burn my action surge for another attack.
Okay.
With my halberd. And that is a... Is that straight up or no? Because its second attack is not a with advantage or no?
I'm going to say... Yeah, fuck it. You just get the whole round of it with advantage.
That was a 20.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
From the angle I looked at was a 14.
Off axis. And that is...
We'll review the tapes.
That's okay.
16, 17, 18, 19 points of damage. I rolled an 8 on a d10. Doubled. 16 plus 3 is 19 points of damage. And as my bonus action, I'm going to reverse my polearm and strike him with the butt. Since I'm polearm master. And it probably misses, because that's a 8.
Yeah, that last one misses.
Alright.
Yeah, so you come in like a fucking whirlwind, turning the corner of this tree with which you were using for cover, and just swing your halberd, and you catch him by surprise 100%. He's focused on you, he's focused on these rats all over him, and suddenly this halberd just comes swinging, cleaves into his shoulder. He kind of thinks he moved out of the way, but then it comes back around a second time, and it just cuts a big old gash into his arm. And as he goes to clutch his arm, he just by chance is able to duck out of the way of a third attack as the hilt comes in for his head. And he's looking pretty roughed up now as we move on back to Rylas' turn.
Kind of like we're repeating the last round. Just like last round. That's
Is that a 9 or a 6?
that was it. Oh. 15?
That's a miss.
Still.
Yeah, he's sort of tending to this wound, but he still hasn't dropped his spear, and he just sort of like spins it with one hand as he sort of like gimps the other arm to sort of deflect your attack as it comes in.
Oh, really?
He's still much stronger. And,
Just spinning the baton. What a jerk.
I mean, you're a little cat man, and he's
No,
a
I get
large hyena.
No, I'm not.
Man.
No, it makes sense. I'm just
Yeah.
what a jerk.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Yeah. He's probably going to put the end of me.
So he's going to go ahead and he's going to take his stick in the hand that he has. You're 10 feet away?
10 feet.
And he's going to go ahead and just chuck it at you as hard as he can.
Yeah.
And as he does, the two bladed ends kind of shrink inward and make it the size of a javelin as it travels.
Oh. Alright.
I could have done a little more damage, but I'm not used to playing this class, so.
22, I'm guessing hits.
Couldn't, like, whip his face off?
Well, I could have done a little more damage, but yeah.
With, like, Divine Fury or something?
I have, oh, right, I know what you're talking about, yeah. No, I have, superiority dice that I didn't use.
Oh.
He deals 7 piercing damage
Okay.
as he throws it at you, and as his arm drops, one large scythe comes out of his gauntlet as he starts chopping. He chops first at the remaining rats,
okay,
and then goes to backhand you.
Okay.
Rylas.
Oh, I hear you.
Alright, rats first.
Oh.
So 25 to the rats.
Okay.
And a 20 to Marcus.
Okay. Damage to the rats.
Not an F20.
No, I realize it's still a hit, regardless.
8 to the rats.
Okay, the rats are all gone.
Woot. And 5 slashing to Marcus.
To me directly?
Yeah.
Crash, bang.
You go flying
No,
back,
I'm
knocked
just
unconscious?
like, no, I'm like,
Oh, okay.
That's just how I feel.
No, okay. Could have been much worse, but you kind of use that giant shuriken sticking out of your shoulder to, like, deflect it.
Oh, like a shield?
And, like, it really hurt as it made contact.
Oh, yeah,
Wrench.
sure. I'm covered in
Yeah.
red.
That's going to be his turn.
And
You're
that's
up.
not the color of my clothes.
Alright.
I was not prepared for this fight.
Apparently.
Wore the wrong clothes.
Alright, make another halberd attack. Oh, terrible. That is 11.
Okay.
I wore
That's
the
a miss.
brown clothes, showed wore
Bonus
the red.
action, make a butt strike. 14.
A butt strike. Your butt strike misses.
Alright.
You've got him on the ropes, and you definitely have his attention now. You're up.
Don't have to have a
Hit it.
potion or anything to
Hit
heal
it.
you, do you?
Hit it. Rapier.
That should be a hit, right?
Yeah.
15 plus, like, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21.
Are you in range?
I'm 10 feet behind him.
So I'm not.
But his attention's on me. You are in close combat with him.
6 plus 4, 10, and do I get these? Sneak attacks?
No.
10.
Because he's too far away.
Just 10. But can you hit from 10?
Yeah, I can hit from
You
10.
can
I have
hit
a
from
halberd.
10.
I have a pulling.
But
still
sneak
just-
attack requires an enemy threatening him within 5 feet.
No.
It's,
I mean,
He has
it's the
room. He has room to
rules.
maneuver.
It's the rules.
He has room to
it
maneuver.
is the rules.
It's the rules.
It is the rules. Hey, someone could have been threatening him within 5 feet if your teammates didn't get killed by the jungle.
I think they killed themselves. Ultimately.
Hey, you know, that's always debatable when people died in
When
nature.
you're too cocky, you don't listen, and then
All right.
you
So
just don't pay attention. You're not there, absent. You know.
Yep. So anyway, he's gonna go ahead and charge away from you. He doesn't really see you as a threat right now.
Right.
And right.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wouldn't think I was a threat either.
he just kind of brushes past you and charges towards you. And now he's kind of beside you. Well, how are you standing next
I was
to him?
10 feet away.
I feel
10
like I
feet
heard
away
he
from
was-
him? And
I was 10 feet away from the creature. He closed distance. So he was up close and personal. I was 10 feet away.
So were you like swinging over him, or were you off to the side, or?
I assume we were off. I mean, he ran this way, so we could say it was off to one side. I mean,
Yeah.
right,
So he positions the
He's
null
between us now?
position. Yeah, he's essentially right between you guys.
So he ran past me, and I heard somebody whisper Felicia.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I know my place.
But he says it in Paul's voice. Because predators can mimic the people they've been hunting.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to use it literally until this moment. Not that it's really a good use of it or anything, but. So, he's going to go ahead and swing on
Me.
you.
Okay.
And he's got this scythe gauntlet unraveled as he's swinging in, and he immediately goes to swing in, and as he does, your halberd, it almost feels like it moves on its own the way you just reflexively knock his gauntlet into himself. And as he crit misses, his blade suddenly comes plunging into his shoulder, and he's going to take... Fuck.
He's gonna take
Suicide!
He's gonna take fuck.
9 piercing damage.
Nice.
And he's gonna shrug it off and fling the blood off and go for some more attacks on you. Alright. 19 to hit. 20.
Okay.
Yep. 10 slashing. And then another 12 piercing.
Holy shit. Alright.
As your first real sort of encounter with these things, now that your wall of rats has been torn through, is beating you up and blooding you up as this very sharp blade gauntlet kind of slashes into you.
Okay.
And then it'll be your turn.
Okay. So, are you calling using a potion? Is that an action?
Using any item is an action.
Okay. So, I'm going to pop a potion.
Mm-hmm.
I have
It's-
a
That's my
potion of
next.
healing that's 2d4 plus 2.
It's my next rat man. Pop a potion.
Pop a potion.
That's
I'm pop a potion.
You heard it first. It's yours.
6. And I'm also going to use my bonus action now to second wind, regain 1d10 plus 3 hit points.
Hell yeah. That is one healing ass turn.
Ass turn.
Ass turn. Ass.
Tiny dog walks in the picture. You look at it. You expect it to give a nice little whoop, and you hear, "Fuck!"
Okay. That's my turn.
Good job. How much did you heal in total?
7 plus. Yeah, I'm back up to 15. So.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's good.
13 points, I guess.
Okay. Negated pretty much one of the attacks.
Yeah. Not enough, but
Yeah.
something. Better than dead.
Yeah, you must have been pretty dang close.
2.
Holy cow. Alright. It is your turn, Rylus. Big
Again,
Ryle.
with the rapiers. Yay!
And I'm in direct contact with him now, so.
6 plus 8 plus 7. 6 plus 8. So it's 8. 7. 7 is 14. 8 plus 7.
That's 15.
15.
So 15 piercing?
15 piercing.
Okay. Alright. With this attack, you plunge into the back of this hulking gnoll. And as you do, it screams out in pain. Another... And it clutches at its back as its back arches up and it howls up. This time not in a menacing howl, and in just like an extreme pain howl. And you can see like its right side kind of go slack as you pierce like a point in its spine that just just completely
strokes out.
yeah numbs one side of its body. And now it's pissed.
My next turn, I'm going to take my grenade that I've been holding this whole time, put it inside of its body, and pull the pin.
Yeah.
Just with my stealthy rogue skills.
So now with its limp arm, it's going to just sort of like spin around violently and wildly, trying to hit you guys with the claw gauntlet on its limp arm. And it's going to do so with disadvantage. So first it'll swing at you, since that's where it got stabbed, the direction it got stabbed from. Just like that.
Hold on.
That's a brutal.
I can't do it.
One cock. Disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay, so 17, does that hit you?
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay.
13
TPK.
slashing.
Oh, TPK. Not every story has a happy ending.
And then it'll whip around. You get knocked out?
I'm down.
Alright. It'll swing around and try and slash at you now. 16, does that hit?
Just hits.
With that, I'm going to do the dramatic, Rylus is down, so no longer on camera.
That's 11 piercing.
Okay.
And it's going to look at you, arm drooping now, clutching at its back, trying to stand still. It doesn't seem to have too much more fight left in it.
All I can do is attack. So. Alright. Alright, so let's call that that is a natural 15 plus 5 to hit.
That
20.
is a hit.
Alright. And what I'm going to do is, since I should have done this last time, but I didn't, that is, I'm going to use some superiority dice here. And that's going to be a menacing attack. So I'm going to use that superiority dice, add that to my damage. So that is 10 damage, and he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I got another attack coming too.
Well, let's do this wisdom saving throw first. Alright, well, he made it. He fucking natural
DC
20.
13. Oh, you got 20.
Yeah. So,
that's alright, I still got the bonus damage from it, so.
Well, here's what happened. So in these final moments, as he's clutching this limp arm, he swings around, hits you first, and blood just sort of like flings through the air as these scars or this actually it's a single blade, so one deep scar is embedded on your face, and you fall to the ground unconscious. And as he swings back around, he hits you, catches you across the chest, and you just have a big scar on, or big wound on your chest.
It's a pretty big open wound.
Yeah,
I'm hurting pretty bad.
And as he sits there and tries to defend himself against your final blows, you come in with this deadly looking swing with your halberd, and as it plunges into him, he grips your halberd with his one arm that isn't limp, and he just growls at you as he pulls it in closer, and you just sort of keep pushing behind it until you cleave him in two, and he falls to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, that was enough to kill him.
Alright,
so.
10 hit points, sweet. I had one more attack coming.
I mean, you can kill him if you want, like mutilate his body if you want.
Yeah, so I spin the halberd around and ram the butt end of it through his face.
Okay.
With a 19 to hit.
All right.
And do 2 points of damage.
Okay. You do enough damage to like break his jaw, and there's probably some sort of inner damage to the back of his esophagus.
All right. Any other immediate threat?
No. In fact, you see your friend Rylus bleeding on the ground, unconscious.
All right. I'm gonna take my next action to rifle through his stuff and take anything of value. Now, and see if he happens to have a potion or anything.
Yeah.
On him.
Did you have a potion on you?
Now, I don't know if you remember, but out of game to edit, because our wizard friend had a 50 gold diamond.
I gave each of you a potion.
You gave each of us a potion. Did you already use yours? You did. Okay. All right. Well, can I try to make a medicine check and stabilize him?
Yes.
How about that?
I'm going to make you make a death saving throw. All right.
1 success.
7.
You don't seem to. He seems to be getting like a little bit better, but you don't think you're doing much.
All right. Well,
So
we
then
keep
I
trying.
do a saving throw and he tries to stabilize me. Right?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is exciting. That's enough.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna make another 13.
Okay. This time his breathing seems to have kind of slowed to a natural pace, and he's not conscious or anything, but you think you've wrapped up the main wounds that were afflicting him. You remove the giant shuriken from his shoulder, find some alcohol gort left behind to cleanse the wound. And
So does that put me at 1?
wrap it up. I'm gonna say, yeah, sure, you're at 1, but you're still unconscious for the time being.
Stable and unconscious.
And in this time it takes you to kind of stabilize him. There's a loud buzzer overhead, and the dome, which was this iridescent, shimmering magical force before, kind of turns all red as the words winner flash above as you look up. The trees, almost it almost seems like they kind of part for you to be able to see what's going on above. That area where the panthers were eating, it's easy enough to see high enough in the sky to read that it says winter, and you can make out the faces of two people that look kind of familiar to you through this canopy. Um, and as you drag your buddy sort of into a more convenient area to glimpse up, you recognize it's your guys' faces.
Oh.
And suddenly you see the face of King Valiance. I think I named him. Yeah, King Valiance. Yeah. He says, well, in all these years, I never thought we would actually have true winners. Today you have earned your place amongst the greatest hunters to ever grace Parallax. For those of you that do not know,
Oh, wait.
the Kingdom of Valiance has been in... Oh, please, someone send some medical attention down there. For those of you that don't know, the Kingdom of Valiance has been in partnership with a local tribe of Knoll for many years. They left us to our business. They gave us the technology to develop this biodome, and in exchange, they would send their best hunters here, year in and year out. The deal was they would cease killing the outsiders that we invited to compete the day that an outsider could slay one. And not only did they slay one, these men slayed three. Three of the deadliest hunters to ever grace this biodome. And so we celebrate you. And then out of nowhere, these two elves in full white gowns and white masks and white little hats come running in with a stretcher.
Ding, 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 ding.
And they hop, 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 hop. They load them on. Hop, 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 hop. And then they turn back to look at you and they say, follow us. Hop, 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 hop.
Thrice killings.
I limp my bloody ass along.
You guys end up making your way back to the infirmary.
Crunching along in my Howard.
Once you get closer to the city of Parallax, there's more medics on hand that are there to help you, as well as other hunters that have just been attacked by random things in this biodome. Some hunters only got so far as, maybe a few hundred feet in from the starting line. You guys had that VIP pass straight to the middle. So not everyone had to encounter these crazy hunting creatures. So when they recover the bodies that the one body that you guys slayed that's still intact, everyone's kind of astonished that, number one, that's a thing, and number two, that you were able to slay it. As you wake up in the infirmary,
Oh, I wasn't awake for all that? Okay.
healed up, in the hospital bed next to you is your good friend Colt, who seems to be pretty fine compared to you. Your undercovers and everything.
To put it in perspective, 4 hit points out of 31 left.
And well, what negative were you at? Probably a good amount,
I
right?
don't know. I just went to
Just
went
to
to
zero.
Yeah.
I had 2 survives, no no fails. So.
Yeah.
I'm at 1. I was at 1 unless they healed me. Now I'm like whatever the hell I am.
Well, yeah, you're healed. You guys, I mean, it's a full rest. Like
Right.
in a hospital, yeah,
Oh yeah, man.
that's a long rest.
Depends on the hospital. I mean,
Yeah. So
we're lucky Rylus is still even alive. I mean,
yeah,
he
that's
went in
true.
there to,
I mean, he's alive. He's just going to be in debt for a very long time.
Alright, long rest, so 1 hit dice, or long rest, are we...
Long rest, full health.
Full recovery.
You guys, you still have bandages and stuff on for protection.
You're gonna feel it for a few days.
And you wake up from your kind of semi-coma to Colt being chatted up by the king, King Valiance.
So, not a dream, I take it. I was thinking that, after the... what I was assuming was last night's drinking fest at Sunset's Brew, that I dreamed all that. Well, okay, it was real.
Not only was it real, but you survived.
Well, that's because I showed up and I listened and I wasn't arrogant and think I knew everything.
Jeez. Yes, those are great qualities in a true hunter. And as part of the deal for entering, you will receive all this gold. And he snaps his fingers, and a bunch of servants come in with wheelbarrows, and they're just like tons of gold coins just stacked up. Some have like golden statues and jewels and everything, and they bring in about like 5 carts. And some of them are like gold and platinum, and some of them are just platinum.
Oh. What's the magic blade?
Oh, yes, that. Well, and he pulls a sheath out from his back and unveils this large, thick, kind of like plain-looking blade, but on the blade are hearts and gold and rainbows and red balloons and clovers and all the lucky charms. And he says, "This is the luck blade. I never thought I would be able to give this out, but today you two have earned it. Be careful with that."
Well, in fairness, Colt earned that. Well, the rats earned it, but...
The rats did the bulk of
But
the
you
work.
did playing, so...
Alright, so he hands the luck blade to you.
Just set it between us.
Okay. He sets it between.
How much money was it?
You didn't write
Remember
that one
offhand?
down? Because
I didn't write that
It was
down.
like
It was a
10,000
lot.
platinum.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
per.
10,000 platinum.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what it was off
Something
the top of my
ridiculous. Yeah.
Alright.
Cool, I'm going to add this to the character sheet.
Yep. Just for future reference.
And he says, "No, that's taken care of. There is a new issue at hand. There were more than 3 to the tribe. They only sent 3 hunters each season. This is truly a first for us, so we don't know how they're going to respond."
I was going to say, so now your plan is to eradicate them, or this is just a, we don't know?
We don't know. They might try to retaliate. They might have even more horrendous technology at their disposal. Only time will tell. However, with your intelligence, fighting them off in the jungle of all places, perhaps you can help us.
Do you have a rat problem?
Not especially. Why?
You should probably round up some rats from the from the forest. I was particularly impressed with their vulnerability to rats.
All right, we'll have to send someone down for rats. Hey, servants, get down to the sewers now. And as he says that, they look at each other and they say, "The sewers? But what about the xenomorphs?" And that's how we're going to end it.
I literally was going to say, it was like, was there any, like... Yeah. That's really fun.
So yeah, maybe we'll come back to these super rich characters with their luck blade as they fight off xenomorphs in the next installment of the Apex Excursion.
Yeah, man.
That was a good time.
That was alright.
Yeah, but you guys fought off the 3 predators, predator gnolls, and you made your way through the biodome in the Kingdom of Valiance.
Somehow managed to make 3 groups of rats last for
For a day.
for a boss and 2 sub bosses.
Yeah.
and well, I guess a boss and 4 sub bosses if we're counting the Panthers. Oh man.
No, yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah, no Wakanda for them. Wakanda not forever.
Jesus.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh man. All right.
That was a good one shot.
Let's bring it back.
3 shot.
Let's professionalism. Those who come and actually watch the end of the Apex Excursion, thank you. A lot
Appreciate
of
it.
hidden gems. Don't forget to comment, asking us any questions related to tonight's show. Feel free to check us out on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, dual DMs or CraftyFellows, either one. CraftyFellows for Twitch, and for the other social medias, it's either dual DMs or CraftyFellows.
Just search. Use the search bar.
Yeah, you found us here.
It's easy.
Mean, take a look.
It's easy.
It's in the internet.
Yeah, it's in the internet.
It's in the internet.
Name it
It's
a
right
Rhox,
inside
though.
there.
Yeah.
You might have to stir it up a little, but it'll show up.
There's always yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming. You have a good one. We appreciate it, and thank you again, Julian, for hosting the Apex Excursion.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you,
for
Julian.
playing,
Good
guys.
time.
Appreciate it.
We survived your DMing.
You solved my predator puzzle.
Yeah. First night.